All right. The meeting has been called to order. Are we recording?
Sure.
Yes.
All right. Let's have a roll call. Marjorie Austin.
Here.
Beth Justice.
Here.
Bill Goldsmith is here. Alana Courtney.
Here.
Mary Hanson.
Here.
Sandy Sturgill.
Here.
Larry Tuning is out of town for family business and won't be attending. All right. Since we have a quorum, let's stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
This is always the hard part.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So back in my chair. Okay.
Do I have a motion to approve the agenda for this evening?
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right. Motion is moved and seconded. Have a vote. Sandy Sturgill.
Yes.
Mary Hanson.
Yes.
Alana Courtney.
Yes.
Say yes.
Yes.
Beth Justice.
Yes.
Marjorie Austin.
Yes.
It passes. Moving on. Do we have people for public comment?
No, sir.
Wow.
All right. No public comment, and so
Did you want to speak?
I mean, I wanted to speak
ahead.
afterwards.
No.
I mean, just about after we have the whole meeting, I wanted to talk. because-
No, this is your
I'm
opportunity.
yes.
I'm just here in
You
regards
need
to.
to
Come to the-
podium and say your name.
Come up.
They already know what I'm talking about, but I'm Ryan again with Old Town Chimney Sweeps, and I'm just here to kind of, like I told everybody, I was going to keep showing up until we figure out, if they were going to shut everything down, or they're going to let me be the last one involved on the Airbnb stuff on Main Street. I just looked at the paperwork and I can see that the lodging tax is low, so I can see concerns. I mean, if that's intertwined or not, I don't know. But I'm just trying to comply, so if I feel like if I come to the meetings, I can stay up to date with what's going on. So that's it. I mean, pretty short and sweet.
You could state your address for the record.
31 Cross Street.
And your name, what's your name again?
Ryan Van Helm. Yep.
All right. And I know that the planning commission is going through those different items, and it's moving at the speed of government at this
I
point.
just feel like I like to be here, and I kind of enjoyed the last meeting, so.
Good.
Well, welcome back.
Something wrong with you.
Are you the one that spoke to over?
We should strike that from the public,
Yes.
from the council response, please.
Yes.
Oh, it was me?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, it was me.
Yes. She's the town attorney.
All right. Next, matters of council. Garth, administrator's report.
Okay. I've got 3 issues that I'd like to update council on. The first is the drainage issues on Colorado and Kent Street in that vicinity. And Roy and I met with the superintendent of the Saluda District, VDOT, and Ron Peaks, who's with VDOT, and the other guy's name is Mark. Mark is the longest? Anyway, 3 members of VDOT, and we went out and looked at the areas, and they are planning to take care of the drainage issues on Colorado and Kent Street. And they've got 2 areas of concern and possible solutions for Cross and Colorado. And so what they're planning to do is do the least intrusive first, and if that doesn't work, then they will come back and do the more extensive digging. So
They said that they ought to be able to do the first phase, which is changing the paving on the intersection within 90 days. And then if they have to dig the second phase, that would be like next spring, because they would have to plant grass in where they're digging out. So that'll be,
And with that, they're talking about digging a long trench
Yes.
all along, like Cross Street or something?
not all along,
Right.
but along the property, yes.
And they're reluctant to do that, and when we were first talking about that, they said they're reluctant to do that because a lot of homeowners don't like it
Right.
when it comes down to it. So what we said was, well, we could sit down with Ms. Powers and talk to her and see if this is something that she wanted to explore. But then, talking further, they decided that they were going to try this other way first and see how it works.
Was Marston one of the roads also that was flooding?
I don't think so.
Okay,
It-
Mr.
I
Weicker
know
told me
that-
that his,
I know that Bruce Murray has talked to me. I went out and met with him, and that's when we brought the contractors in that do contract work for VDOT. And they weren't really concerned about Marston, and I think a lot of their issues they fixed themselves.
okay.
That's great.
Okay.
The 2023 big grant has been filed, and that is going to cover the work at the town marina with the floating docks on the north end of the pier to take away the stationary docks and replace them with floating docks. And that's phase one. But the grant has been submitted to the health department, and we'll see.
You said north end?
The north end of the marina.
Thank you.
Do we have any estimate as to when that's going to start, the work?
I wish I could,
Yeah,
because they should have finished the project that's current
Yeah.
with the repairs by now, but they're swamped, and so, we're waiting, but this grant's got to be approved first before they can
Okay.
do that work.
all right.
The town insurance policy has been updated and submitted for the upcoming year and approved, and that concludes my report.
Just out of curiosity, with hopeful thinking, is there a pool on that new policy?
Not yet. We will add that once,
Once it actually
Yeah.
exists? Okay.
I mean, they're aware of all that, the construction and everything. We've talked about that. But
There is a report from the pool committee, which is not on the agenda.
Not on the agenda. It's kind of late to amend the agenda, right?
It's only 3 sentences.
why can't, let her
Yeah, go
report
ahead.
in my stead.
All right,
I relinquish my time to Barbara.
all right.
Thank you. It's only 3 sentences. Stand up and go over there.
Get in the,
Just because it makes it easier for the clerk then to do the minutes.
you just can't sit on your tail. Get up.
Barbara Hartley, Chairman of the Pool Committee. Short and sweet. We are due for a groundbreaking, did I say groundbreak? Tuesday morning.
Cool.
Might be moved to Wednesday, but we are scheduling for Tuesday morning, and they expect the pool to be completed sometime in October. That's it.
What time is the groundbreaking, Barbara, please?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock?
Before it gets hot.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we've been told that the October completion date is for the pool, not the pool and the
Ah,
Oh, okay. All
building, so.
Okay.
If you don't see the building up there
Okay,
at
good.
the end of October, don't be surprised.
right. Thank you for clarifying that.
all right. Action items. Who's, planning commission report?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Planning Commission. Okay, we had 3 items that we discussed at Planning Commission this last Tuesday. And the first one is that the Planning Commission would like to propose that Katie Wilson become the new member of the Planning Commission. She has properly applied for the position and is willing to serve in that capacity. So I want to recommend, first of all, Katie, if you would just say, that's Katie Wilson, and state your address.
200 Cross Street.
Okay. And that we would like to ask the council to approve her serving on the Planning Commission.
And if you could state the term to fulfill the unexpired
To
term.
fulfill the unexpired term of Hank Dutton, who recently died, And I don't know when that term ends.
The end of this year.
Okay, is it the end of, it's the end of this year? Okay, so it expires at the end of this year. So we need to take a vote on that, or is there a?
Yeah, a motion, so we need
Okay.
a motion to,
Okay, so I make the motion for the council to accept Katie Wilson's application to serve on the Planning Commission.
do I have a second?
Second.
Motion has been moved and seconded. Let's take a vote. Sandy Sturgill?
Yes.
Mary Hanson?
Yes.
Alana Courtney?
Yes.
I say yes. Beth Justice?
Yes.
And
Yes.
Marjorie Austin.
Okay.
Motion is made and passed.
Welcome, Katie Wilson. Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for taking the job.
Yes. Okay. The second thing that we discussed was the Virginia, or the Urbana Tourism Strategic Plan. We have a few minor edits to make in that. One is on some of the gross income, tourism-related income figures that we're double checking. A few typos that didn't get caught, I need to get those to you, okay? And so we will be presenting that to council at the next meeting on the 27th, along with Laura Messer from Virginia Tourism Corporation, who spearheaded that effort and who wrote a wonderful report, a very extensive report. So that is the next meeting. Also, the Planning Commission began thorough discussion of the short-term rental situation in Urbana, and we're doing our due diligence and finding out more about what other localities do. Yesterday, I read the National League of Cities guidance. They have guidance that they've developed over the last 13 years on short-term rentals, and they're asking many of the same questions that we're asking as well. So the first thing that we're planning on doing and we're working toward is we are working toward developing a set of guiding principles that any policy would support, so that it's not just random, because we want to be thoughtful, we want to be consistent, we want to support the values of citizens and businesses and homeowners and residential property owners in our town. And so there are a lot of interests to consider. The Planning Commission recessed on Tuesday night, and we will reconvene next Thursday to continue our discussion so that we have some ideas to present to council with the intent of getting their feedback on some of the very specific questions. We will then take that and we will attempt to come up with a first draft of what the Planning Commission is proposing. So this is a process. We can only make it go so fast, but we want to do it right. We have parts of the code that conflict, and so with the ordinance, and there are some things that are confusing in the ordinance, so there's a lot to try to figure out various pieces so that it all works together the way it should. And that is the report of the Planning Commission.
Okay.
Okay.
Under action items, we have FOIA policy. Is that something that,
Yes, sir.
okay.
July 1st, a new law took effect, and as some of you may have read in other places throughout Virginia, people who make FOIA requests get exorbitant costs or cost estimates. There was one in Loudon that was like $30,000. And in response to that, there's a new statute that requires every locality to have a policy about charging for FOIA requests. And just to recap, you probably remember that under the law, we are only allowed to charge the actual cost of responding to a request for records, and we are to try to do it in the least expensive means possible for the citizen. And so in order for us to be in compliance with the law, I just ask that you approve the policy before you.
We did that like 5 or 6 years ago. That was put into place. Is that not in our records?
I do not have it.
Okay.
But you're saying it was like renewed July 1st, or
This was a totally new state law,
okay.
but I mean, we could have already, but
Yeah, I'll make the motion to
thank you.
put that in place.
Do I have a second?
I second.
All right. Motion is made and seconded. Now the vote, Sandy Sturgill,
Yes.
Mary Hanson.
Yes.
Alana Courtney.
Yes.
I say yes. Beth?
Justice, yes.
Yes, that's- and Marjorie
Yes.
Austin. Thank you. Where's your name?
Larry.
Larry. Exactly. All right. Now, before us, we have the minutes from May 25th. Is there a motion to approve the,
I'll make a
Minutes
motion
as-
to approve as presented.
all right? Do I have a second on that?
I'll second.
All right. Start with Marjorie.
Yes.
Beth?
Yes.
I say yes. Alana?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
And Sandy?
Yes.
So the minutes are, from May 25th are approved. We've got one thing that's going to take some time in closed session. So announcement, is that over to me to read your letter, or are there other announcements?
No.
All right. The only announcement is that as of July 5th, Garth Wheeler has, what?
August 5th?
Well, July 5th is the date of the letter. Okay, July 5th is the date of the letter. This is a letter, reading it, as written. This letter is to tender my resignation as the town administrator of Urbanna effective August 5th, 2023. I've enjoyed my tenure with the town and appreciate the opportunity to serve the community. My comment now, we thank you for your service. You're going to be missed. And you've done a really great job over the last couple of years to put things into shape as we move forward. You're going to be hard to replace, and I'm sorry to see you go.
Thank you.
And I don't want your job. And so part of it is selfish, but Barbara will understand that.
It's absolutely a loss for our town to lose you.
Yeah, thank you, Garth.
So
Yes.
Thank you, Garth.
Yes.
that is the basis of the closed meeting, is to discuss personnel.
So
Is there anything else that we need to,
are there any other announcements?
any other announcements? No, there's no other announcements, so we need to vote to approve. Do I have a motion to approve this letter of resignation?
To accept the resignation?
Yeah, accept the resignation. Am I allowed to vote no?
Yes.
Okay, just wondering. All right.
I make a motion to accept the letter of resignation.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. Sandy?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Alana?
Yes.
I say yes.
Yes.
Beth? Marjorie?
No.
It still passes.
That's fine, but my answer is no.
No. All right.
And so is there a motion to go into closed meeting pursuant to Virginia Code Section 2.2-3711A1 for the discussion or consideration of the hiring of a town administrator?
So moved.
All right. Motion, we have a second?
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. So, Marjorie?
Yes.
Beth?
Yes.
I say yes. Alana?
Yes.
Mary?
Yes.
Sandy?
Yes.
All right. We are